everyone, and welcome back to YG Radio. I'm your host, Harry Allen, and today we have got another Dragunity card released in the structure deck. Now, this is the last one. This has to be the last card. We've had so many. We've had more than quite a lot of other structure decks, it feels. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like we've had quite a lot now. And as you can see, this is a quick play spell. Quick play spells tend to be good. How good is it though? Let's find out together. So the quick play spell is called Dragunity of the Hurricane. You can only use this card's effect once per turn, and as you can see, it has a very bulky effect. If only your opponent controls a monster, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except dragon monsters. Also, special summon one Dragunity Tuner and one Winged Beast Dragunity monster from your deck, but negate their effects. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, special summon from the extra deck, immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon one dragon synchro monster using only Dragunity monsters you control. So, how good is this card? Well, it's Urgent Schedule, essentially. This card is literally Urgent Schedule, but for Dragunities, and that's very good. Urgent Schedule is a staple in almost every single Earth Machine deck because it gets you 2 monsters out for free. Now, some people have already said that it sucks that this card locks you into dragons, but what else are you summoning in Dragunities from the extra deck? I cannot think of a single card you would want to play in a Dragunity deck that isn't a dragon monster in your extra deck. I'm not a Dragunity expert, so maybe someone can clarify that for me, but I cannot think of one that you will be summoning from your extra deck that isn't a dragon monster. This deck doesn't need to play Halcyon Feedbacks. Just remember that you don't really need to play that card to play Dragunity as well. The downside of this card, and there's some upsides, and I'll talk about more of the upsides in a second, but one of the downsides I will say about this card is that you have to have no monsters on your field. So you going first is a dead card. Your opponent has to have a monster, you have to have none, it's dead. You cannot use this on your first turn. And because Dragunities want to go first, I can see this card not being played really in any kind of quantity. You might say it's a one-off, because the thing is, you can search it with the link monster, but wait, you then have a monster on the field, so you can't use this card's effect. So you wouldn't really want to search this card out by any means. You would rather just play it if you drew it. So maybe a one-off would be good. What I will say is that this card can get your level 6 synchro monsters out very quickly. The one that lets you bring back a tuner from your graveyard, essentially, and then you can go into a level 8 synchro or a link 2. That could be really good. The fact that this card lets you go into the synchro monster, I can never remember its name. Dragunities have very weird names. But essentially lets you add any Dragunity monster from your deck, essentially, to just do discard a card. That lets you get off your plays. So going second, this card is phenomenal. If you hard draw this card, it is phenomenal. It helps your consistency even more. And that's saying something, people, because Dragunities are already very, very consistent. But like I said, they want to go first. You won't always get to go first, and if your opponent knows you're playing Dragunities, they're going to want to go first, so this could at least eat up a negate. I think this card's good. I'm not sure how Dragunity experts are going to feel about this card, but I think it's a solid addition to the arsenal. I don't think you're going to see this card being played at 3 of, and I don't think you're going to see this card being played in every single Dragunity deck. But I think this card is very important to be played because it's a great backup if you're going second. It gets you free resources. Your opponent will not want you to get that. So if they can negate this, they will. And that then gives you access to Dragon Ravine a bit more freely, or your other cards. This eats up a negate, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you're getting 2 monsters out. Will you search it out with the Link Monster? I don't think you will. Will you play it? Entirely up to you. I think this is a solid card and a great note to end the Dragunity line of support. Hopefully, that's all the support they'll be getting, because they've had a lot of support now. And it's great, but hopefully that's all they're getting, because I think we need to move on to other things now. Anyway, what do you think of this card? Do you think it's good or bad or mediocre? I want to hear your opinions. So, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, comment below if you have anything to suggest what you'd like to see in the future, or your own opinions on the card. And until next time, I've been Harry Allen.